Hello, I got a comment on one of my previous videos by Salibok, and it says, I guess I'd be one of those random people on the internet who came across your videos. I've watched a few and you seem like a really interesting person who discusses random topics, so much so that I decided to subscribe. I like the way your mind seems to work. I've noticed that you have some opinions about everyday things that most of society would consider unconventional, but make total sense when you put them in the simplest perspective, like why wouldn't I cut my own hair? Or what's the big deal, they're only shoulders. Yeah, so thank you for subscribing. I was thinking about it because I liked that comment actually, and it reminded me when I was thinking about the simplest perspective thing about something that happened when I was younger. Because when I was about 16 years old, I met this woman and she had her nose pierced, and she was beautiful, and I said to her, why have you got your nose pierced? And she said, really quickly, she said, why have you got your ears pierced? And she said that she hadn't got her ears pierced, which I hadn't noticed until she pointed that out to me. And it just, I think that really made me think then, a little bit, because it was like, well, that's like a direct comparison. Instead of having her ears pierced, she had her nose pierced. And the end result is the same thing, a piercing, regardless of whether it's on my ear or whether it's on her nose. So it was like, why wouldn't she do that? Because it's the same ending result, it's just in a different place. And why is it that my ears pierced is socially acceptable, but her having her nose pierced isn't as much so? Like, if you had some people and you were advising them on like what to do when they go for a job interview or something, and one of them had their nose pierced, you'd probably advise them to take that out, but you wouldn't advise someone to take their ear piercings out. It's like, well, why? What's the difference? They're both a piercing, they're both the same end result, you know. It's like, well, she's right. Why is her nose piercing questionable and my ears piercing's not? You know? It's interesting, because it is such a direct, comparable thing, because they're both piercings. I suppose if it had been something entirely different, like if she'd had a tattoo or something, there wouldn't be something on me that you could compare to that. But as it is, they were both piercings, and it's just like, instead of ears piercings, she had nose piercing. So then it is like, well, why not? Why is that like that is? It just made total sense when she put it like that. Yeah. I don't know. So it's another story time. Good night.